Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thought I'd do a short little video on the ordinary and expert dungeons. You see, this is a level 38,000 mite account. It's actually my daughter's account. The heroes that we're going to be running the expert dungeon with is a level 160 Dread Drake. 6 of 10 skill, 3 of 8 or 3/8 bulwark. Then the druid, 5 of 10 skill, 3 of 8 heavy blow. The skull knight, who is 5 of 10 with a really good secondary skill at 4 or 5 corrode. Pumpkin Duke, 7 of 10 with a 3/8. And Cupid, 6 of 10 with a 3/8. So those are the actual heroes that we'll be running with. The base levels are level 13, which is a little bit, I guess her center base I think is. So she has two level 14 bases, 2 level 13s, and a level 16 base. The magic that she's using, or that we're going to be using, is level let's go. She's going to have Restoration, level 5 Guardian, level 4 Aries, and level 1 Snowstorm. So it is a free-to-play account. She has yet to get the Spirit Mage. She was able to fully do the ordinary dungeons, and she's working now on the expert dungeons. She's fully cleared all of the level 4 dungeons and is now working on the level 5 dungeon. So she cleared the 5-1 already. We're going to go 5-2. And the key is to look around and kind of identify where you think their traps are. And remember that magic towers, well, towers in general, are they're the death of every account. So you got to kind of, the key here is to kill. I didn't mean to do that. But kind of the key here is to kill towers quickly. But when you get an opportunity to drop in the center like that, if you put down your Guardian and then your Frenzy, that usually will keep your heroes alive. Once you get to expert dungeons, the Omnithopters are almost a must in all of them. But what's more important than the Omnithopters is the magic. And so few or so often people use low level magic, and low level magic just is a really, really, really bad idea. The best advice I could give to anyone that's doing their dungeons is to get your Aries to level 4 minimally, but the sooner you get it to level 5, the more success you will have with the dungeons. And once you have Aries to level 4, then you have to really work Snowstorm. So, you know, people are always in a hurry to rapidly evolve their heroes, and in the process they get frustrated because they don't feel that their leveled up heroes are performing the way they should. Well, the key is, again, getting your magic levels up, and once you have your magic levels up, then working to increase your skill levels on your heroes. And take your time evolving, because if you evolve too quickly, you're going to push your might up so high that it will make the rest of the game very, very difficult. So my advice is to be patient, to work your hero level, skill levels, and your magic, so that when you do go out to farm, you do go out to do the rest of the aspects of the game, you're not actually disappointed in the performance of your heroes. We're just getting some gold here so I can get more magic. I might go in and try a dungeon once without the Omnithopters, just to show people how difficult it is and why Omnithopters are an absolute must in the game. So I'm going to drop my Dread Drake for the next one and bring in Orcsbane. I want a little bit more of the heal. His skill level, I didn't even look, his skill level is 6 of 10 with the 5 of 8 life drain. And that life drain on him is very, very useful. In fact, I know a lot of people that will say that the life drain, that Orcsbane is the only life drain hero. So, I mean, everybody has their own preferences and their own skill or gaming styles, but as I said, towers are always the death of heroes. So the sooner you can kill the towers, and my Orcsbane is out there being stupid, not doing his job. I wanted him there with Skull Knight to keep Skull Knight's health up, but he decided to go running off and do his own thing. Had we had Omnithopters here, this would have been a relatively easy dungeon. The Omnithopters would have taken a lot of the tower damage. We didn't, so now of course we're sitting here absorbing this tower damage with our heroes. Hopefully with the life drain on Orcsbane and the Druid healing my Cupid, but it looks like the Cupid's going to die. Like I said, towers are the worst enemy of all of the heroes. I'm going to end up running out of time on this simply because I ran out of heroes. Should not have tried this without the Omnithopters, but you can see how life drain is just on Orcsbane. That 5 of 8 life drain makes him incredibly difficult to eliminate. So they say that's why there's so many people that truly believe that life drain is a talent that was designed for Orcsbane. He comes with an enormous amount of health, as it is HP, and then you put that life drain on top of him, and he has his own heal. So it'll be interesting to see here if he'll last the final 30 seconds. I think he will. Bombs will probably, I mean, if there's bombs, if he runs into bombs, that'll probably kill him, knock him out. But every tower he kills is less damage he receives, and more effective the life drain and heal is. So yeah, he would have easily lasted. You know, he could have, if there was more time, easily taken out this dungeon. But that gave you a good indication of how strong the life drain talent is on Orcsbane. So even though we did not successfully run the dungeon, we were able to show how useful uh, life drain talent is on the Orcsbane. So it wasn't a wasted video. And we showed the difference of the necessity, I should say, of the Omnithopters in the dungeons. Now let me explain the dungeons and the reason why dungeons are so important. Dungeons are very, very important for the shards. The best ordinary dungeon payout, shard payout, is 40 shards. The higher you go in the expert dungeons, the higher the payout is. Now you have to get to, in order to exceed the 40 shard payout in the expert dungeons, you have to actually clear dungeon 7, and it's the last dungeon in dungeon 7 pays out 57 shards. Now what's interesting about the shard payout is that it's supposed to be the percentage of payout is supposed to be equal regardless of whether you're doing ordinary, expert, or insane. But what I think I know is that even though they say it should be the same, it seems like the frequency of payout in your expert dungeons is higher than the frequency payout in your ordinary dungeons. Also, what a lot of people don't realize is that ordinary dungeons, not ordinary dungeons, all dungeons, when you sweep them, you don't get the frequency in drops or in shard drops that you do if you actually fight the dungeon. Fighting the dungeons will often give you the reward, or will more frequently give you the reward. So I'm going to run a dungeon here just with Orcsbane again to show how easily he is, with this life drain, able to withstand the damage that the towers provide. This was actually a poor example because the towers aren't going to be strong enough to even touch him. But I don't want to waste the attempt. I might get 14 shards out of this, or I think it's 14. So Orcsbane is an underrated hero. He's the highest HP hero in the game. He actually, in almost every phase of the game, a tank is necessary. Especially at levels below the evolved heroes, or I should say below the double evolved heroes. But the underestimated strength of Orcsbane is not in his HP. It's in his ability to simply tank and damage and heal. He does all three. Now I wanted to show you this dungeon because a lot of people feel it necessary to fight the boss. In order to clear the dungeon, you have to destroy all of the buildings. So you don't have to kill the boss. You have to destroy the buildings. So in this particular situation, what would have been useful is having a couple of Omnithopters so that once the towers are down, I could drop the Omnithopters on the town hall over here and destroy the town hall, and then I would do that while Orcsbane is fighting the boss. And in doing that, Once that castle, once that town hall is destroyed, then the fight would be over. With just Orcsbane, I will have to destroy all of the buildings, go through the boss to get through the castle. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I drop on the castle first? Well, because had I dropped on the castle first, or the town hall first, Orcsbane would have destroyed it, came over to the boss, but then he would have been fighting the boss as well as the towers. So I want him to destroy the towers first, and then he can fight the boss. And I don't know if he'll be able, I've never ran this one solo with just the Orcsbane, so I don't know if he'll be able to tank it or not and clear it. It's going to be interesting to find out, and I think it will make for somewhat of an interesting video here. And we're giving him some love, so hopefully it's enjoyable. Hopefully the video isn't too long and doesn't bore everybody. Again, that life drain talent, we're going to see it very, very clearly here when he's fighting this boss at its usefulness. Now what I'm going to do is drop down the Guardian first and the Ares so that he'll attack faster, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get this boss destroyed. But you can see as he's pounding on him, he's doing virtually no damage at all to the Orcsbane. With that life drain, with the Orcsbane's ability to heal himself, and with his high HP, the Orcsbane was able to just go through that boss effortlessly. And there you go. 14 shards. Boss, Dungeon 1, final boss, tanked solo by the Orcsbane. Now, we're going to test it again. We'll go just a little bit further. And you can see she doesn't have the Spirit Mage. And she has, and for all of you free to play players, she has managed to get every one of these 41,000 gems through farming. She does the free. She goes here to these free gems and downloads and plays and this, that, and the whole 9 yards. So for those that say you can't get a Spirit Mage, you can farm the Spirit Mage. Farming anything above that, though, becomes very, very difficult and time consuming. But you're able to. Now, I do know that there is she bought the $20, the $19.99 pack one time. I bought her a Google Play card for her birthday that she put on this account here. So while we're making the video, let's go in here and see what hero she gets. So that's an additional unexpected part. Oh, she got a Cupid. She received a Cupid through the free draw. That means that means she is going to be able to double evolve her Cupid. Let's go ahead and see what it came with. There's her Cupid. She does not have she did not have a spare Cupid. So, does she have an altar space? She doesn't, but we're going to open one up for her. And let's go see what that Cupid comes with. That is a very, very unexpected, wow. I mean, that was a really, really good draw. Alright, let's see here. Oh, it's self-destruct. Is it going to be a high one? 2 of 8 self-destruct. Well, it is. It will be a Cupid used for evolution anyway, so that's alright. Now we were going to go in one more time and fight another dungeon, or the next dungeon, the next champion dungeon, which is dungeon 2, expert dungeon 2, with only the Orcsbane. I should say Orcsbane and the the current Omnithopters. Again, we want to kill off the base without fighting the boss. So if we can do that, we'll succeed. If we can't do that, let's start here with the champion, I think. I think we'll start right there with the champion. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure why it took so long to kill that champion. Now, hopefully, the Orcsbane and my Omnithopters will stay together and fully ignore that darn boss. We'll see. I'm not sure if we'll have enough time. We probably won't. Took a long time to destroy those towers. And we had the Omnithopters go the opposite direction, so that's going to hurt. But again, this shows how strong your Orcsbane is. So I've seen this, or I've done this on my main account, where when I was farming this, I found that it was much easier to just farm it with 2 heroes. And what I would do is I would pull my Orcsbane out, who also, on my main account, who has 6 of 8 life drain, and I would run this dungeon with just the Orcsbane and then my Grim Reaper. And they would stay together, and they would go around through the circle, just clearing out all of the buildings quickly. And there wasn't ever any risk of running out of time. But again, you can see how very little bit of damage the Orcsbane is taking from these towers as it's doing its thing. Well, the Orcsbane's going to die. When the Orcsbane's dead, I'm going to go ahead and shut off or end my video. Hopefully this was enjoyable enough for everybody. Have a good night, guys. Low Barth out.